Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. So welcome everyone. Hare Krishna. From the point where we left off yesterday, back to the pages of Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So last evening, we concluded with the discussion of the first 3 verses, where, just to summarize and bring our attention together, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahir Avastitam Maya Javanika Channam Ajñādokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshase Mudadrisha Nato Natya Dharo Yatha Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyemahi Striya. 3 take-home points. Point number 1 from the first verse. The Supreme Lord is present everywhere, and we offer obeisances to Him because He is the Supreme Lord. The second take-home from the second verse. If He's present everywhere, why we are not able to see Him? It's just lack of devotion. We spoke about the eyes anointed with the mascara of love. Remember the example of the classical singer and the audience who love classical music in comparison to those who have no clue what Saregama Padhani is? Imagine somebody sitting there and the singer is doing his Swara Sangati and Rag Vistar. He has 45 minutes of slow singing. And if it's an exciting raga like Hamsa Dwani, which brings in a lot of joy, then it's nice. Devotees have heard, Vatapi Ganapatim Bhai. Okay, so then there's a smile on the face. But imagine if it's a rag that people haven't heard, it's very slow, sad, Charukeshi, Kirvani, Jaunpuri, Darbari, any of these very melancholic ragas, then people already start to cry. Why are you crying? I don't know. But it's touching my heart. Right? So even to appreciate that music, we have to be a rasik, which means one must know the rasa, the intricacies, the nuances in that art. Similarly, to see Krishna when He appears is easy. But to actually see Him truly as He is, we need the eyes of love. The third point, take home from the third verse. Kuntī Devi is expressing her humility. And she says, pure Vaishnavas, who are Muninam, who are Mauna. Mauna means they are silent. Muninam also means those who are contemplative. Those who are Paramahamsas, those who know how to take the right substance, the subject matter of bhakti in this world and leave the water behind. And those who are Amala Atmanam, those who are completely cleansed in their consciousness, they are the ones drowning, tossing, spinning in the waters of love, divine ecstatic love. Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jana Bhasi. Bhasi means to swim and drown. So in the Tulsi Arati, the prayer is, Dina Krishna Dase Koi Ei Jana Mora Hoy, Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jana Bhasi. O Brinda Devi, please bless me, benedict me with this opulence, with this great fortune. May I someday, Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham, may I drown in the ocean of love. Majjantu Prema Sagare. May I swim in the ocean of love like pure Vaishnavas. Yesterday we were mentioning how Rupa Goswami is a perfect swan. He's a Paramahamsa. We mentioned how he has bifurcated definitions so expertly in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Kuntī Devi is expressing her humility and saying, my Lord, if you're present everywhere, if you're inside of everything and outside of everything, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashayastitaha. Aham Adishcha Madhyamcha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. If Krishna is present everywhere, and Krishna said that in the Gita, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati. Pure Vaishnavas, they see Krishna everywhere. Sthavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti, sarvatra hoye nija ishtadeva spurti. Srila Prabhupada gives a fabulous example to illustrate this point. Srila Prabhupada says, when the father comes home from work, he leaves his car keys on the table, he has his shoes just outside the door, and he has his briefcase on the couch. The little girl who's been playing outside the house, she comes in and she says, "Daddy, my daddy is back." Now, how does she know that? Srila Prabhupada writes, just by seeing the shoes and the car keys and seeing the briefcase, she understands, my dad is back. Actually, the shoe has no connection to the father. But because she has seen her father use those shoes remind her of the father. Srila Prabhupada gives this example to illustrate that those who actually have love for God, when they see the rising of the sun, they remember Kṛṣṇa, just like the child remembers the father seeing the shoes. By seeing the rising of the sun and the moon, prabhasmi shashi suryayo. And that too depends on the bhav of the devotee. If he's a Rama Bhakta, he will look at the rising sun and he will remember Raghuvanshi Sri Ramachandra. If this person is a Vishnu Bhakta, he will remember, oh, this is Surya Narayana. If he is a Kṛṣṇa Bhakta who has read Brahma Samhita from the Aishwarya conception of opulence, he will see the rising sun and say, Yachakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurtir Ashesha Teja. That this is the eye of Kṛṣṇa. If he is the worshipper of Kṛṣṇa in Vrindavan, he will see the rising of the sun and remember, oh, now it's time for me to wake up my Gopal. Because Mother Yashoda wakes Gopal up when the sun is up. She doesn't want to wake him up too early. If someone is a Gaudiya Vaishnava who's seeing the sun, they will remember, oh, Surya in Sanskrit is also called Bhanu. And that is the name of Radharani's father, Vrishabhanu Maharaj. Radharani goes to Surya Kund and performs Surya Puja, worshipping Surya Dev so that Kṛṣṇa has a long life. Eka eka padartheshu tridha bhavati vikshitai kunapa kamini mamsam yogibhi kamibhi shvabhi. Yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. As we are completely colored, as our consciousness is colored by the colors of love, that's how our drishti is. What does this mean? Eka eka padartheshu tridha bhavati vikshitai. If a girl walks down the aisle, a yogi in Sattva Gun will see her. This is an eternal soul in a feminine body. And if this is seen by someone who's very lusty, his vision is tainted accordingly in Rajogun. And if a dog who's very hungry or a tiger who's very hungry sees in Tamogun, he will not see that this is a soul in a bag, a feminine body. The tiger doesn't feel lusty also. The tiger starts, Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave. This is my ahara. So, eka eka padartheshu tridha bhavati vikshitaihi. The same thing can be seen in three different ways depending on the advancement of consciousness. So, when a pure Vaishnava sees the blossoming of the lotus, he remembers, Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline. Srila Prabhupada said, a Vaishnava, even when they drink water, they remember Rasoham Apsu Kauntaya. When Srila Prabhupada was in Chicago, and in the initial days, the devotees had forgotten to bring a jacket or a sweater or a chadar for Srila Prabhupada. As you know, Chicago is the windy city, it's very cold. When devotees forgot the chadar for Srila Prabhupada and it was very cold, they apologized to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, the breeze reminds me of the cold embrace of Kṛṣṇa. Yasya kadapi vasananjana khelanota dhanyati dhanya pavanena kritarthamani yogindra durgamagate madhusudanopi tasya namostu vrishabhanu bhuvodishepi. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad writes, all glories to the breeze of Vrindavan. Why? When Kṛṣṇa is far away, And the devotees don't know where Kṛṣṇa is. It is the breeze which carries the fragrance of Krishna's bodily aroma into the nostrils of the Vaishnavas. And the devotees know that's the direction where Shyam is. And when Krishna is in separation from Srimati Radharani, he doesn't know. Ha Radhe, Ha Radhe, Ha Radhe. He's searching for Srimati Radharani. And when he can't find, Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Krishna prays to the breeze of Vrindavan. Wherever Srimati Radharani is, oh, Pavana Devata of Braj, not demigod, Brinda Devi's agent, may you please carry the fragrance of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet to me. Krishna prays. And the breeze starts blowing from Barsana, carrying the fragrance of Srimati Radharani's aroma. And when that enters Krishna's nostrils, Tasya namostu vrushabhanu bhuvo dishepi. Krishna bows down and offers obeisances in the direction of Barsana, praying to the breeze in gratitude. Thank you very much for telling me where Srimati Radharani is. Now you tell me, this is the greatness of love. Even something as insignificant as breeze in this world can be the greatest stimulant of devotional service. So Prabhupada writes, just like the child remembers the father by seeing the different articles, Vaishnava with advanced consciousness remembers Krishna by the movement of Mother Nature. Let's give a few more examples. When a Vaishnava sees a tree, what does he remember? Any examples? Kalpavrikshas of Vrindavan. How in Vrindavan it is described. In the Brahma Samhita it is said, Chintamani Prakarasatmaso Kalpavriksha is one verse. But in the last, Brahma Samhita says, Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo. That every tree of Vrindavan is a wish-fulfilling desire tree. So when a Vaishnava sees trees in this world, he remembers the desire-fulfilling trees of Braj. What else does a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi remember by looking at trees? Huh? Mahaprabhu's instruction, Trinad api sunichena taroriva sahishtuna, to become as tolerant as the tree. Very good. That's a wonderful meditation. What else? Damodar Leela. How wonderful. Prarabdham sakalam sahasva manujo shamam sada chintaya vasam swikuru dhamni sakta manasa vandasva damodaram tarhi prapsasi te swarupam iti dattayena shikshapura vittendratmajayor vitarakamaham Shri Naradam tam bhaje. All glories to Narad Muni, who did what even destiny could not. Destiny was trying to make the two sons of Kuber into Brajbasis over so many lifetimes. But karmic imbalance, material desires, influence of three modes, just the environment, the materialistic sense gratificatory desire was stopping them from making advancement. But Narada Muni, it didn't seem like, it externally seems like a curse, but what a sadhu gives comes from his heart, and it's only blessings. All glories to Narada Muni, who made Manigriva and Nalakuver into wish-fulfilling desire trees in Nanda Bhavan. And as trees, they are standing like this, moving by the breeze of love in Vrindavan, looking at the pastimes of Krishna running around. Many times Krishna would hide behind the trees and play hide and seek. And they are in ecstasy. Hair stands on end in the form of blossoming flowers. Many times Krishna would climb up those trees and sit on those branches and eat those fruits. Who would have imagined somebody who's frolicking, breaking regulative principles in Kailas, in the abode of Lord Shiva, can have the great fortune that Krishna will sit on their body and eat their offerings as the fruits, as the trees of Vrindavan. This great fortune, Narada gave Manigriva and Nalakuver. So by seeing the trees, you can remember that. What else? Vancha Kalpataru. Wow, wonderful. By seeing the trees, remembering them to be wish-fulfilling trees, we remember how Vaishnavas are like that. How pure Vaishnavas are like that. When Srila Prabhupada was asked, what was our qualification that you came into our lives and gave us this fortune? What was our good qualification? Prabhupada very honestly and humbly said, you had no good qualification. I made your qualification. This is a tree. When you come under a tree, whoever we may be, Patra patra vicharanam na kurute, na swam param bhikshate. Patra patra na dekhe sthana sthan, je jahan paaye taha kare premadan. The tree doesn't see who is standing, why, where, how. The tree does its Vastu Siddhi Shakti. What it's good at, giving shade and shelter. And when we get tired, we can rest. He also drops in fruits and flowers. Even if the person cuts the tree, breaks it into pieces, burns the wood, the tree continues to give the best fruit that he has. How amazing is the tree? How amazing. The woodpecker makes a nest in the tree and then starts pecking the same tree. Can you imagine? The person whom we give shelter or we assist, that person takes our assistance and his only attempt is to peck us down. The woodpecker is pecking. And when he gets tired, he takes rest in the same nest of that tree. Then again becomes rejuvenated after that rest and continues to peck the same tree. And the tree continues to give shade. Mahaprabhu said we have to be more tolerant than that tree. It's a very tall order. So in this way, point noted, every single thing in this world, when it's seen through the eyes of love, it's seen completely different. So through the first 3 verses, Kuntī Devi is saying pure Vaishnavas who have eyes full of love, they can see you like this. But what about us? If we are given an X-ray report, how many of us can read it? Doctors here? How many doctors here? You see? Very few. But how many of us can see the X-ray report? We all can see the report, but hardly can anyone read the report. That's the point. That's the point. To see the report is not difficult. We just need eyes. But to read the report, you need years and years of medical training. Understanding. So to see Kṛṣṇa like how Shishupal did, to see Ram how Ravana did, to see Narasimha how Hiranyakashipu did, that's like seeing the X-ray. It's easy. The Lord appears. But to actually read them, you need the vision that Hanuman had towards Ram. The vision that Prahlad had towards Nrsimhadev. The vision that the Brajvasis had towards Kṛṣṇa. So it's not seeing this world, it's actually reading this world, reading between the lines. Not just seeing the rising and setting of the sun, not just seeing Mother Earth, but seeing all of that in connection with our Master. So Kuntī Devi in humility, she says, how can we develop that vision? Dear devotees, whenever on the path of bhakti, we feel helpless, we feel shelterless, we feel hopeless, we feel I am completely finished, my life is finished. There are so many devotees doing so many services. Sometimes due to the mode of ignorance, we may feel like that. I am good for nothing. Look, I always make mistakes. We may beat ourselves down. There's one thing we can always do. Chanting the holy names of the Lord. Kuntī Devi in utter humility, in the next 2 verses, she only calls upon the names of the Lord. If you see the pattern of Kunti's Stuti, in the first 3 verses, she proves to the whole world Kṛṣṇa is God, He is present everywhere, and to see Him we need love. But then in humility, she feels, I don't have love. How do I develop that love? Kṛṣṇāya Vāsudevāya Devaki Nandanāya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumarāya Govindāya Namo Namaha. Pure Nam Sankirtan going on. Pure Nam Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param. This verse and the next verse. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. This couplet, these twin verses, they have 2 things in common. They have Nam, please repeat, Nam and Pranam. So Namaha means Pranam, Govindaya Namo Namaha means Pranam. Namaha Pankaja, Namaha Pankaja, Namaha Pankaja, Namaha Pankaja, Namaha means Pranam. So physically offering obeisances, and Kṛṣṇāya, Vāsudevāya, Devaki Nandanāya, Nandagopa Kumarāya, Govindāya, Pankaja Nabhāya, Pankaja Maline, Pankaja Netrāya, Pankajangraye. All Nam. Names are chanted through the tongue and obeisances are offered through the body. These are 2 things we can take complete shelter of. I want to give an example in this regard. In the pastime where Kṛṣṇa ate dirt, the friends of Kṛṣṇa went and complained. Ekada kridamanaste ramadhya gopadaraka Kṛṣṇo mridam bhakshitavan iti matre nyavedayan. They went to Mother Yashoda, all the friends, headed by Balaram. And the acharyas write in the commentary, Balaram had a big problem in Kṛṣṇa eating dirt. Why? Balaram's main problem was, till now, whatever tasty things he has eaten, he has always shared with me. When he eats a rasgulla, he shares it with me. When he eats rabdi, he shares it with me. When he breaks butter pots and eats the butter, plunders the butter, he shares it with me. Mother Earth is called Rasa Devi, from whom all the rasas come out. When he went to taste that nectar, he went alone. So Balaram felt, if not for me, I will not let you also eat. So he went, iti matre nyavedayan. He went to Mother Yashoda and said, Kṛṣṇo mridam bhakshitavan. So Balaram, he had a problem, went to Mother Yashoda and said, Kṛṣṇo mridam bhakshitavan. Now Mother Yashoda is seeing from the maternal love, what goes in the mouth goes into the belly, and Kṛṣṇa at the age of 3.5 has not developed the pachana shakti, the digestion power to digest dust. So Mother Yashoda felt very concerned. If he eats dirt like this, he'll fall sick. He'll have stomach problems. So she took a stick in the hand, not to reprimand, but kind of just show business. Just to show. And she reached close to Kṛṣṇa and she found mud in Kṛṣṇa's mouth. Kasman mridam adantatman bhavan bhakshitavan rahaha. Adantatman, you independent, restless little. Well, I share and eat. If they haven't eaten, I haven't eaten. If I have eaten, they have eaten. Rahaha. Bhavan bhakshitavan rahaha. You have eaten in seclusion. Then if that's the case, how do you know you've been at home, O mother? They told me. Now who's that they? Till now it has been the gopis. Because if you see strategically in the first half of the 8th chapter of the 10th canto, the motherly gopis have been complaining that Kṛṣṇa breaks butter pots. So when Mother Yashoda said, Vadanti, Gopikaha Vadanti, the gopis would have said. Because Kṛṣṇa doesn't know the gopas have started to complain. Till now he thought the gopas are Mamaka, Pandavas, Shaiva, Kimakurvata, Sanjaya. So he thought they are the Pandavas on my side. And the motherly gopis who are complaining, they are Vipaksha Sakhis. But now when Mother Yashoda said, Vadanti, Kṛṣṇa immediately said, but they are all your side. That's why they are complaining. Mother Yashoda said, no, Vadanti Tavaka Yete. This time your camp complained. Kṛṣṇa said, all liars. Mother Yashoda said, Kumaraha. They are all less than 5-year-old. And according to Vedas, those who are less than 5-year-old, their words are supposed to be Shabda Brahma. So, Vadanti Tavaka Yete Kumarapi. They are all children. How can you say they are lying? Kṛṣṇa said, that's a general principle. I know, my friends. Birds of the same feather flock together. They are all liars. Sarve mithya abhisamshinaha. Mother Yashoda said, Agraja api ayam vadati. Even your older brother Balaram complained. Now Kṛṣṇa's caught. Dharma sankata. If I say Balaram has spoken the truth, then that proves his words to be false. If he says Balaram is speaking false, that is dharma maryada vyatikraman. Breaking of dharmic principles. So what to do? Kṛṣṇa looked at Mother Yashoda and said, oh mother, there is so much pain in my heart, I have never told you. There is so much vyatha, so much pain in my heart, I cannot even tell you. Mother Yashoda immediately held the chin of Kṛṣṇa, Bal Gopal, and said, what happened? Tell me, you can tell your mother everything. Kṛṣṇa said, I cannot tell you, oh mother. I cannot tell you. Why I cannot tell you? Because you trust Balaram so much. The one whom you send out to protect me is the one I need protection from. Balaram tells you he will protect me like the eyelid protects the eyeball. When Balaram leaves home, he promises Mother Yashoda, I will protect Kṛṣṇa like the eyelid protects the eyeball. But oh mother, I need another eyelid to protect me from this Balaram. Mother Yashoda said, why do you speak like this about your older brother? All of this going on through eye-to-eye communication with tears in the eyes. Tell me what happened. Kṛṣṇa tells Mother Yashoda, we go out holding hands as brothers, but once we are in public with our friends, Balaram starts teasing me. He tells me, oh Kṛṣṇa, Maya Yashoda is fair. Nanda Baba is very fair. I am very fair. How, Kṛṣṇa, how? How did this happen? So Kṛṣṇa starts to smile and says, this just happened. God made it happen. Balaram said, it doesn't happen like that. Kṛṣṇa said, then you tell me what happened. And Balaram publicly starts telling Kṛṣṇa, do you know, before you were born, look, I have experience. I have seen this world much more than you. Before you were born, Nanda Baba and Maya Yashoda did not have a child for a long time. So they went to Mathura market. And on the marketplace, they were selling you. And the shopkeeper set a price. Nanda Baba paid the price and got you home. Kṛṣṇa, do you know? They never want you to know this. But actually, you are not their child. As soon as Kṛṣṇa starts to hear this, tears are streaming from his eyes. Disbelief. But then Balaram, after some time, after making Kṛṣṇa cry, said, no, it's just a joke. Everyone, please don't do this. Kṛṣṇa is actually my brother. He was born from the womb of Yashoda. Kṛṣṇa is saying all this to Mother Yashoda just to buy time because he is swallowing all that mud from his mouth inside. And after he is finished and Mother Yashoda is looking at Kṛṣṇa, Naham bhakshitavan amba sarve mithya abhisamshinaha yadi satya girastarhi samaksham pashyame mukham. They are all liars, O mother. Ultimately, you are my mother, I am your child. Why bring a third party between the mother and the child? What they say about me shouldn't matter to the mother who has held me in her womb. And if you still have doubts, why don't you look into my mouth? And when Kṛṣṇa opens the mouth and the whole universe is seen inside, the point we are trying to make, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Mother Yashoda became so bewildered, so confused looking into the mouth of Kṛṣṇa with the whole creation inside. She started thinking, what is this? Mountains, rivers, waterfalls, oceans, tides, forests, trees, Dyauscha chandrarkha nakshatra kham disha bhu mahodadhi vasudevasya viryena vidrutani mahatmana sasura sura gandharva sa yaksha uraga rakshasam jagatvashe sarvamidam Kṛṣṇasya sacharacharam. The stars are seen, the galaxy is seen, the Milky Way, the floating planets. Mother Yashoda is not thinking, is my child God? She's thinking, I thought he just ate dirt. Seems like he has eaten planets. He has eaten stars. He has eaten the sky. How is all this going to digest? And when she got confused, Prabhupada writes in the purport, when Mother Yashoda was bewildered, she called upon the names of Vishnu and offered obeisances to him for help. Prabhupada says, following the footsteps of Mother Yashoda, in life, whenever we are confused, we should call upon the names of the Lord and offer obeisances. This is exactly what Kuntī Devi is doing. In these two verses, she is exactly doing the same thing, following the footsteps of Mother Yashoda, saying Namaha, offering obeisances, Pranama and Nama. Nama and Pranama. Please remember this. On the tongue we should have, through the body, Pranam. And this is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now she calls upon 5 names of Kṛṣṇa. Krishnaya, Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha, Nandagopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. These 5 names are brilliant in themselves. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, when he composed the Achyutashtakam, Krishna Govinda He, Ramanarayana, Shripate Vasudevajita Srinidhe, Achyutananta He, Madhavadhokshaja, Dwaraka Nayaka Draupadi Rakshaka. He calls upon 14 names in one verse, out of which 5 names for Krishna. Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, he maps the whole Krishna Leela in 5 names. First name, Krishna. Who is Krishna? Shukla Rakta Tathapita Idanim Krishna Tamgata. Gargacharya named him at birth. Namakarana Sanskar, the name given was Krishna. Krishi Bhu Vachako Shabdo, Nashcha Nibritti Vachaka, Tayor Aikyam Parabrahma Krishna Ityabhidhiyate. Srila Jeev Goswami quotes this in the Sandarbhas. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It finds its reference in the pages of Vyasadev's Mahabharata. So, first name that Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya uses is Krishna. So, as he was a child, he was given the name Krishna, but when he took on the services of taking care of the cows and the calves, he was given the name Govinda. But then later when he went to Mathura, he realized, I am Vasudev, the son of Vasudev. So, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says, Krishna Govinda He Rama Narayana Shripate Vasudevajita Srinidhe. Okay, 3 names done. Then, when he went to Dwaraka, Achyutananta He Madhavadhokshaja Dwaraka Nayaka, and finally, Draupadi Rakshaka. These 5 names, Krishna, Govinda, Vasudeva, Dwaraka Nayaka, Draupadi Rakshaka. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya maps the whole Krishna Leela in these 5 names. In this same mood, Kuntī Devi adds 5 powerful names of Krishna. Starts off with Krishna. Actually, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan has commented and explained how of all the names of Krishna found in Shastra, the name Krishna is the highest and dearest to Krishna. The name Krishna is so dear that when the parrots of Srimati Radharani sit on her hand, actually, Vama Hastasthita Shukha, on the left hand of Srimati Radharani, when the parrot sits and starts saying, Radhe, Radhe, Radharani says, Radha, Radha, Mavada, Krishna, Krishna, Vada. Don't say Radha, Radha, say Krishna, Krishna. In that same mood, when Mahaprabhu came in this world, he chanted, Krishna, 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 Hey, called out to Krishna. So much so that his name is Krishna Varnam, Tvisha Krishnam. Srila Sridhar Swami in his Bhavartha Deepika commentary writes, Krishna Varnam, Krishnam Varnayati iti Krishna Varna. The Lord who will come in Kali Yuga describing Krishna is Krishna Varna. So the name Krishna is so dear that Mahaprabhu was given the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So wonderful. So Kuntī Devi calls upon Krishna now. Very, very dear to the Vaishnavas. In the Varkari Sampradaya also we can see Ram Krishna Hari. You can see in Sri Sampradaya also, in Kulashekar Alvar's Mukundamala Stotra. Alam 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 eka praninam patakanam nirasanaya Krishna Krishneti vani. Yadi bhavati mukunde bhaktirananda sandra. Kulashekar Alvar has said, enough of saying that we are fallen, enough of saying that we are offensive. Krishna Krishna iti vani. Bas, now from this moment, instead of saying I am fallen, on the same tongue we will say Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Kulashekar Alvar couldn't even stop at that. Then he said, Krishno rakshatu no jagat traya guru, Krishnam namadhvam sada, Krishne nakila shastravo vinihata, Krishnaya tasmai namaha, Krishna deva samuttitan jagadidam, Krishnasya dasosmyaham. Krishne Where is that verse? Tishtati vishwametad akhilam he Kṛṣṇa rakshasvama. Matta smriti jnanam apohanam. Kṛṣṇa sometimes helps us remember, Kṛṣṇa sometimes helps us forget. Kṛṣṇa is always the doer. So Kulashekara Alvar chants so many names of Kṛṣṇa because the nature of a pure Vaishnava is they can't just say Kṛṣṇa and stop. So Kuntī Devi starts off with Kṛṣṇa Naam. In Sanskrit, the Krish Dhatu has two meanings. One is Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa means to plow something. A farmer is called Krishi Vallaha from the same Dhatu, which means to take a plow and actually plow the field. What does Kṛṣṇa do? Kṛṣṇa, he makes the barren earth, which has been made barren by the Asuras, he makes it fertile by kicking these Asuras out. Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi Bhara Nasho Mukundaha. By taking the Asura weeds out and using the plow of his chakra, Kṛṣṇa makes the barren Mother Earth fertile with Vaishnava presence. Another meaning of the word Krish Dhatu is Akarshana. You see, from Kṛṣṇa, when you add a upasarga or a prefix, then you get the word Akarshana. Akarshana means attraction. In Sanskrit, if you add upasarga or prefix, the meaning changes. Upasargenu dhatartha, dhatvartha. By the use of upasargas or prefixes, dhatu artha, the name of the meaning of the dhatus change. Like for example, hara, vihara, parihara, samhara, they all mean different words. So similarly, Kṛṣṇa means to plow, but Akarshana means to attract. So he who plays the flute and attracts the heart of Sarvam Akarshayati iti Kṛṣṇa. He who attracts everybody, he is Kṛṣṇa. He attracts everybody. The demigods are attracted by his flute. The cows are attracted by his flute. The deer get completely mantramugdha, completely stunned by Kṛṣṇa's flute. Mother Earth trembles in joy. The clouds hold hands and they shower rain hearing Kṛṣṇa's flute. Who is that person who can stop their heart from running to Kṛṣṇa's lotus feet? Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he writes, Tri Jagan Manasakarshi. Kṛṣṇa's flute is Tri Jagan Manasakarshi. He has the power to attract the minds of the three worlds. What to speak of us? When Prahlad Maharaj was asked, how is it that you're getting attracted so much to Vishnu? Prahlad Maharaj said, I am like an iron filing. Vishnu is like a magnet. You're asking an iron filing. How come you're getting attracted to a magnet? Only when the iron filing is rusted, then it doesn't get attracted. So when we have the rust of lust on our heart, that's when there is no akarshana. Kṛṣṇa is a magnet. Everybody gets attracted. Vidagda Gopala Vilasineenam Sambhoga Chinnankita Sarvagatram Pavitra Mamnaya Girama Gamyam Brahmam Prapadhe Navanita Chauram. So many acharyas have written. Think about Sripad Vallabhacharya. Everything about Kṛṣṇa is sweet. So sweet. He could have just said Madhuradhipate Rakhilam Madhuram. Bas, that becomes a sutra. But he doesn't say like that. Adharam Madhuram. Oh Kṛṣṇa, your lips are so sweet. So Kṛṣṇa says, only the lips, huh? Vadanam Madhuram. No, Kṛṣṇa, your face is sweet. Kṛṣṇa says, only the face? Still generic? Nayanam Madhuram. Oh, the eyes are so sweet, Kṛṣṇa. And when Kṛṣṇa hears this, he smiles. Hasidam Madhuram. The smile is also sweet. Kṛṣṇa said, oh, okay, so only externally sweet. Hridayam Madhuram. Oh, Kṛṣṇa, even inside you're so sweet. Gamanam Madhuram. You're walking towards me and walking away is also very sweet. Kṛṣṇa said, why so? Sripad Vallabhacharya said, Madhuradhipate Rakhilam Madhuram. Oh Kṛṣṇa, everything about you is so sweet. Vidagda Gopika Mano Manojnya Talpashainim Namami Munja Kanane Pravritta Vanni Painim Yada Tada Yatha Tatha Tathaiva Kṛṣṇa Satkatha Maya Tadaiva Giyatam Iti Kripa Vidiyatam. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, Kṛṣṇashtakam. Bhaje Brajaika Mandanam Samasta Papa Khandanam. How many acharyas have gotten attracted? So Kuntī Devi, when she stops Krishna's chariot, she says, "Oh Kṛṣṇa, please don't blame me for stopping you, getting attracted to you. It is not my fault, it is your fault. You're attracting the whole world." Who is this Kṛṣṇa? Vasudevaya. His connection to Kuntī Devi is Kuntī Devi is the aunt, Vasudev's sister. So Krishna is Vasudev. But dear devotees, the word Vasudev has a very dear connotation with the Pandavas. Sripad Baldev Vidyabhushan in his commentary, he writes, the word Vasudev has two meanings. The two words. The word Vasu comes from the root word Vaste in Sanskrit, which means to cover someone with love. And Dev comes from the word Divyati. Divyati means to stay with someone and perform pastimes. So Vasudeva means that Lord who covered and showered the Pandavas with so much love that he lived with them much more than he lived with the Brajvasis and performed pastimes. Now when Krishna is leaving, Kuntī Devi is saying, aren't you Deva, Divyati, Vaste, he who showers love on the Pandavas and lives with them? Now if you leave to Dwaraka, this name Vasudeva will not be true. Please uphold this name. Devaki Nandanayacha. Now why Devaki Nandan? Very, very beautiful. She says, when your mother had pain, Devaki had pain, you appeared in that prison house, didn't you? And you stayed there with her. You appeared, you gave instructions and protected her. Now when this mother has pain, why are you leaving? You are Devaki Nandana. If you are Devaki Nandana, you are also my Kuntī Nandana also. Because Arjuna is my son and you are like Arjuna to me. So you are Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki. But this also has a very deeper hidden meaning, dear devotees. Dve namni nanda bharyaya yashoda devaki ticha. Just like Krishna has a Krishna Sahasranam, Vishnu has a Vishnu Sahasranam, Rama has a Rama Sahasranam. Similarly, Mother Yashoda may also have had a Sahasranam. She also may have had so many names. If you and I can have so many names. So Mother Yashoda may have had so many names. It is described, Dve namni nanda bharyaya. Of all her names, she had two top names. One was Yashoda, of course, but at home, her dear Sakhis also called her Devaki. So when Devaki Rani is in Mathura, that's Devaki, the wife of Vasudev Maharaj. But Yashoda Rani, the wife of Nanda Maharaj, is also called Devaki in Vrindavan. Therefore, the gopis in Venugit, they say, Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yad Devaki Suta Padambhuja Labdha Lakshmi. They say that this Vrindavan is fortunate by the dust of your lotus feet, Krishna, you, the son of Devaki. Now the gopis will not call Krishna as he who appeared in Mathura. They are convinced, according to Gopal Champu of Jeev Goswami, that Krishna appeared from the womb, biological birth, from Yashoda's womb. He is Yashoda Nandana. So Kuntī Devi tells Krishna, you are not just Devaki Nandana. So she's hitting two fruits with the same stone. She's saying, Devaki Nandanayacha. To the outside world, you are the son of Devaki Rani. But I know you are Yashoda Nandan. And to substantiate that, the next phrase she says, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. If she believes that Krishna is the son of Devaki in Mathura, why will she say Nanda Gopa Kumaraya? How can Krishna have a father as Devaki in Mathura and mother as Devaki in Mathura and father as Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan? Doesn't make sense. So to bolster the point, she says, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. Now these words are very beautiful, dear devotees. The word Nanda means Ananda. Ananda, he who gives joy. In Braj Bhasha they say, Nanda ko Ananda bhayo, Jai Kanhaiya Lal ki. Nanda Maharaj himself is always Ananda Swarupa, therefore his name is Nanda. In fact, the whole family is so happy. Nanda, Upananda, Nandananda, Sunanda, Abhinanda. Everybody is Anandit. But that ocean of joy, Nanda Maharaj also completely exploded beyond boundaries when Krishna appeared, because he is Ananda Swarupam, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabi, Raso Vaisaha, Yan Labdva Anandi Bhavati. So Nanda means joyful. What does the word gopa mean? Gam palayati iti gopa. Those who protect the cows are called gopa. Gopa vesha venukara nava kishor natavara. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is described. Gopa vesha venukara nava kishor natavara. How is Kṛṣṇa? He appeared in the Gopa Vansa. Venukara with a flute in his hand. And Navakishor Natavara. Always dancing blissfully. And he's called Kumara. Kumara means child. But Kumara also has another meaning. Mara is the name for Cupid. Kamadev. And Ku means Kupsita. Disgust. That Kṛṣṇa who's so beautiful that looking at Kṛṣṇa, then you look at Cupid, you feel disgusted. Imagine if you're eating rasgulla or gulab jamun, something very sweet, and someone brings in something that is spoiled from last week. You make that face. That's called kupsita mukham. Disgusted face. So that is Ku. And Mara is Cupid. So Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. Plain translation, he who is the son of Nanda Maharaj. But inner meaning, he who is the abode of joy, who runs behind cows, and he who is so beautiful that even Cupid looks disgusting. And finally, she calls Kṛṣṇa Govinda. Now, this is an inner hint to Radharani. When you say Govinda, you don't say Balram Govinda, you don't say Yashoda Govinda, but you say Radha Govinda. Dear devotees, the word Go has many meanings. But in this context, the word Go means gopis. And Vinda means Ananda Pradata, he who gives joy. So Kuntī Devi says, O Kṛṣṇa, who was given the name Kṛṣṇa by Gargacharya. O Vasudeva, who showered love on the life of Pandavas. And Divyati, lived with them and performed pastimes. Devaki Nandanayacha, who externally is the son of Devaki, internally is the son of Yashoda. O Nandagopa Kumaraya, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, or who is the abode of joy, who is a cowherd boy, and who can make Cupid look disgusting. O Kṛṣṇa, Govinda, he who has very beautiful swing pastimes with Radharani, he who has very beautiful boat festival with Radharani, he who walks through the forests of Vrindavan with Radharani. O Kṛṣṇa, who plays the flute calling out to the name of Radharani. You are Radha Govinda, but because these are the pages of Bhagavatam and the name of Radharani has to be hidden, therefore instead of saying Radha Govinda Bhyam Namaha, she's saying Govindaya Namo Namaha. Shukdev Goswami is keeping the rus going, but he keeps Radharani's name hidden. Samajdar ko ishara kafi. By saying Govinda, it means he who gives pleasure to the gopis. Now gopis, if you think of the gopis, Trailokye, Prithvi Dhanya, Tatra Vrindavana Puri, Tatra tu Gopikam Partha, Tatra Radha Bidhamama. If you think of the gopis, the Vrindavana Chakravartini is Srimati Radharani. If Vrindavan is a woman, then the crown on top of that are the gopis. And the jewel, the Mukutmani is Srimati Radhika, Radharani. So if you call Kṛṣṇa Gopinath, even higher than that is Radhanath. Therefore, when we call Kṛṣṇa Gopesha, Lord of the Gopas, Kṛṣṇa says, Iha Bahi Age Kaho Ar. Gopika Kanta. Oh, he who is the Lord of the Gopis. Kṛṣṇa says, Iha Hoy. This is true. Age Kaho Ar. Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta. Then Kṛṣṇa says, shh, nothing higher than this. Then Namostute. The prayer ends there. So Kuntī Devi, after saying this, calls out to Kṛṣṇa and she says, Oh Kṛṣṇa, you are so beautiful. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. Apart from Namaha, the commonality in all four lines is Pankaja. How important is Lotus? Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, he explains in his commentary. Kṛṣṇa has many names with Lotus. One name of Kṛṣṇa is Padmanabha. Please repeat. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan breaks it in two ways. Now let's split this word in two ways. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan in his commentary, he writes, the word Padmanabha has two meanings. Either Padmanabha, Padma means lotus, Nabhi means navel. So that itself has two meanings. One means he whose navel is like a lotus, or from the navel of whom a lotus sprung, and then Brahma appeared. So that is one meaning, Padma Nabha. Another meaning, please repeat, Pad, Mana, Abha. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan says Pad means lotus feet, and Mana means to accept, and Abhati means to shine. Kṛṣṇa shines in the association of those Vaishnavas who accept his lotus feet to be their life. Pad Manabha. Very beautiful interpretation. So, Kuntī Devi calling out to the lotus as an adjective, Pankajanabha, Pankajamaline, Pankajanetraya. She teaches us how important lotus is in Braj. Itham sharat swachha jalam padmakara sugandina. Nyavishat vayu na vatam sa gopala kochutaha. Shukdev Goswami describes in the start of the 21st chapter of the 10th canto, Vrindavan is full of water bodies, and those water bodies are full of lotus flowers. How beautiful. Blue lotus flowers, red lotus flowers, pink lotus flowers, white lotus flower, golden lotus flowers. And they all have different shapes, sizes, and fragrance. How amazing. How beautiful. Another meaning, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan says, another name of Kṛṣṇa with the lotus is Padmi. Little louder. Thank you. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan says, Padmi means that Lord who walks with a lotus flower in his hand. Kṛṣṇa Kamala. Kṛṣṇa Kamala means a play lotus. Krishna is always whirling and swirling a lotus flower in his hand. And when he wants to play with his friends, he taps them with a lotus flower. And when Radharani wants to punish Kṛṣṇa, she takes the lotus and hits him with the lotus. In this world, it is not lotus flower, it is frying pan. But in Vrindavan, it is not like that. Lalita Sakhi, when she wants to say something to Kṛṣṇa, Radharani wants to say something to Kṛṣṇa in anger, they take a lotus flower. So it's a Kṛṣṇa Kamala. It's a play lotus. Therefore, Kṛṣṇa is called Padmi. Another meaning Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan gives. Very, very beautiful. He says, Sahasra Patra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam. This is the verse from Brahma Samhita. Baldev Vidyabhushan says, Kṛṣṇa is called he who's always glancing at the lotus. What does that mean? Vrindavan is in the shape of a lotus flower, and Kṛṣṇa is always looking at the Brajbasis, who are like the bumblebees drinking the nectar of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is like a lotus flower, and their love is the nectar, and the Brajbasis are bumblebees, and Kṛṣṇa is always looking at this lotus. Therefore, the connection with the lotus. His eyes are also like lotus. His palms are like lotus. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described, Kṛṣṇa is a lotus garden with 8 prominent lotus flowers. 2 palms, 2 feet, 2 eyes, navel, and lotus face. 8 lotuses. What are they? 2 palms, 2 feet, 2 eyes, navel, and lotus face. So 8 lotuses prominent in the lotus garden called Kṛṣṇa. So when Kuntī Devi says, Padma, 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 or Pankaja, 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 it's fabulous. In fact, Lakshmi Devi herself, Ishanam Jagatosya Venkatapate Vishnu Param Prayasim Tad Vakshasthala Nitya Vasarasikam Tad Kshanti Samvardhinim Padmalankrita Pani Pallava Yugam Padmasanastham Shriyam Vatsalyadi Gunojwalam Bhagavati Vande Jaganmataram. So there, Padmalankrita Pani Pallava Yugam Padmasanastham Shriyam. How is Lakshmi Devi? Her name is Kamala. Her name is Padma. Her palms are lotus. She sits in a Padmasana. She sits on a lotus. Her face is like lotus. She is soft like a lotus, tender like a lotus. Her heart is blossoming like a lotus. In her lotus palms, where she is holding the lotus feet of the Lord, with her lotus eyes, she is glancing at the lotus eyes of the Lord. And all of this with lotus flower garlands all over her body and the Lord's body. Why won't the bumblebee like Vaishnavas be around this golden lotus forest? Therefore, the aim of our life is to become a bumblebee, tasting the nectar of the lotus garden of Krishna's lotus feet. Pankaja nabhaya. Navel is like lotus. What does this mean? Kuntī Devi is citing something very interesting here. Kuntī Devi was present during the Damodar Leela. During the Damodar Leela, she saw it. Pratyaksha praman. Now when she looks at Krishna, Krishna has a crown, he has an armor, he's on a chariot. Instead of running behind cows, he has a infantry, horses, elephants. At his beck and call, he has his servants and ministers. Kuntī Devi is saying, I know you from the time when I saw you without the armor, and I know something that nobody knows. They see you as the king and they see that your body is completely covered. But I remember when you used to run around in your kopin as a child, your navel was in the shape of a lotus flower. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. Oh Krishna, I know you from that time. Then when you grew up and when you started going into the forest, Nama Pankaja Maline. But when you grew up further, your eyes started blossoming looking at the beauty of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani is the daughter of the king, and the king is Bhanu Maharaj, Brishabhanu Maharaj. So if the king is Bhanu or the sun, what do you think the daughter will be? Bhanu Nandini, Brishabhanu Nandini. So if the king is the sun, the daughter would be sun rays. And Krishna, your eyes are lotus. What happens to the lotus when it comes in the presence of the rays of the sun? It blossoms. So, Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. I know you from your childhood, but when you grew up with your friends, Nama Pankaja Maline, you went into the forest, the friends would make garlands for you. But when you reached very sweet 16, Nava Yauvanam, then the lotus of your eyes would blossom looking at the sun rays like effulgent golden complexion daughter of Brishabhanu and Kirtida Devi. So, Nama Pankaja Netraya. Namaste Pankajangraye. But this time, I am not taking shelter of your navel or your garland or your eyes. I really need help. I am taking shelter of your feet. Namaste Pankajangraye. Now the question is, if Kuntī Devi is in maternal love, then why is she taking shelter of the feet? Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, Krishna prema hoite eka adbhuta prabhav. Uttama adhama kare kare dasya bhav. Krishna prem has this fabulous effect that even those who are more exalted, let's say more elder in age than Krishna, and they may be in Madhurya Rati, they may be in Vatsalya Rati, or even friends in Sakhya Rati, when Krishna prem rises in their heart, they all take shelter of Dasya Rati. You will see Srimati Radharani in helplessness says, Dasyaste kripadayame sakhe darshaya sannidhi. Now the question could be, Radharani is in Madhurya Rati, why is she saying Dasyaste? Because Krishna prema hoite eka adbhuta prabhav. Guru sama laghu ke karaye dasya bhav. Even those who are higher, when they are in separation from Krishna, in desperation, they become like a servant. Mother Yashoda, in separation from Krishna, she falls to the ground and prays to Vishnu, please give my son back, when he went to Mathura. In that mood, Kuntī Devi is saying, Namaste, Pankajangraye. Those who come into Dasya Bhav, Dasya Rati, they don't look at embracing Krishna. They don't think of blessing Krishna. They think of taking shelter of his feet. So now when Kuntī Devi takes shelter of the feet, Krishna says, no, mother, why are you doing this? I have not done anything for you. Why would you take shelter of me? Kuntī Devi at that time, she says, Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki. Next two verses, Kuntī Devi says, you are telling me what you have not done for me. I will tell you what you have done for me. Why won't I take shelter of your feet? Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat. What is that thing you have not done for me, Rishikesha? Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki Kamsena Ruddhati Chiram Sucharpita. You did for me more than what you did for Devaki Rani. For Devaki, you protected her in the prison, but you did not protect Devaki's children. But for me, you protected me and you protected my children. What to speak of my children? You protected even she who was married to my children, Draupadi. How can I say? How can I say with my tongue what you mean to me, my Lord? You have done so much for me. Muhuhu vipadgana. He nathena. Oh my master, you have protected me so many times. Kṛṣṇa says, holding the hand of Kuntī Devi, I have not done anything. Please don't say this. You have done so much for me. I have not done anything. Kuntī Devi says, no. Out of gratitude, I am telling you what I owe to you. Vishan mahagne purushada darshanat. Oh Kṛṣṇa, when my son Bhimsen was a little child, and his favorite pastime was throwing everyone into the water. Bhim was so strong, he could lift anybody. Have you seen kids when they start getting a little stronger? They start lifting people. Can I lift you? Can I lift you? And then the older brother says, okay, but not too much. Bhimsen would lift everybody, anyone and everyone, and flip them and throw them into the water. And then when they can't swim properly, he would down swim underwater and then bring them out. And then after some time again push them and again bring them. This was Bhim's favorite activity. So naturally everyone got attracted to Bhim. But Duryodhan, being an envious person right from childhood, Nirmatsaranam satam. Bhagavatam is meant for everybody except for someone who is envious. If competitive mentality is there, then Bhagavatam doesn't open. Just like Ravana came as a sadhu and he thought he kidnapped Mother Sita, but the real Sita slipped behind the veil of Yogamaya and Chaya or Maya Sita came out. Ravana was convinced he has kidnapped Sita, but he had not even touched Sita. Actual Sita was into the fire. So similarly, when competitive, envious mentality is there, we may chant a lot, we may serve a lot, we may read a lot, we may hear a lot, we may know a lot, and we may think we have established and attained Sita. But Maya Sita. It only Tava Harinam Kevala Kaitava Dushtaman Tumi Kisera Vaishnava. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Anasuyave, Kṛṣṇa says, oh Arjun, I am speaking to you because you are non-envious. Duryodhan, Shishupal, they were epitome of enviousness right from childhood. Duryodhan having this competitive mentality with Bhim, he said, let's poison Bhim. With his associates, they personally mixed poison into the food and fed Bhimsen. And no effect of the poison. They fed Bhim so much poison. He's still running around playing, lifting people, throwing into the water. Bhim is thinking, Duryodhan is thinking, what went wrong? I fed him poison, the effect is not seen. But slowly as sun was setting and evening started to come, people started to leave from the forest towards home. Bhim started feeling little nauseated. He started feeling little, I'm not feeling quite right. And Duryodhan was like, I am feeling so right. On the banks of the holy river, Bhim started feeling drowsy and he slept off. And Duryodhan and Dushasan, they tied Bhim with rope and threw him into the water so that even if he wakes up, may he drown to death. But as Krishna's will protects, there is a saying, the will of the Lord will never take you to a place where the grace of the Lord won't protect you. The will of the Lord will never take us to a place where the grace of the Lord will not protect. Before Kṛṣṇa creates a room, he creates a door. Before he sends us somewhere, he makes an escape route out first, then he sends. Bhim was thrown into the water. He went exactly through the same channel underwater and reached Sarpaloka. Now who would have imagined he would reach Sarpaloka? He went to Sarpaloka. The snake started thinking this is an intruder from outside. They started biting him. And Vishasya Visham Aushadam. Vishasya Visham Aushadam. The medicine to counteract a poison is injection of another type of poison. The poison from the fangs of the snake in Sarpaloka was the exact ingredient needed to enter the body to kick the previous poison out. Now Bhim started waking up. But when he woke up, he was thinking, what is this? What are these snakes doing to me? And how dare they do this to me? Well, I can't even throw them into water because they're already into the water. He started getting these snakes, and I will give you the taste of your own medicine. You like to strangulate, huh? Now I'll strangulate you. Bhim started killing snakes in their home ground. He started playing with them. Left, right, center snakes are killed. Complaint went to Vasuki. Vasuki came out. What's happening? There was another person by the name Arka underwater in Sarpaloka. He was a forefather of Kuntī Devi who had spent some time on earth. He said, this is Bhim. This is my descendant. Arka came and told Vasuki, protect him, give him gifts, bathe him, ornament him. He is my Atithi. Vasuki said, wonderful. So what gift should we give him? Arka said, give him amrita, nectar. And give him one pot by which he will have the strength of 10,000 elephants. Imagine giving strength to Bhim. It is like letting Hanuman enter Ashok Vatika. Tapatrayo unmoolanam. They only know to uproot. They gave him one whole golden pot of nectar, thinking that he won't be able to drink. Where's the next? Bhim drank 8 golden pots. Arka said, now this is getting too much. He's as strong as, I know it doesn't fit the math, but it says 100,000 elephants. Now after drinking, Bhim came out. But then to digest this, he just went to sleep. And for 9 days, Bhim was knocked out, sleeping to digest that nectar. Mother Kuntī is scared. She went to Vidura and she says, my son is not back. Everyone is back. Bhim is missing. Vidura looked at the astrological chart, which was made by Vyasadeva. And Vidura said, Chiranjeevi. Vyasadeva has pronounced that Bhim has a long life. Don't worry, he will come back. And surely enough, after 9 days, Bhim comes back. And he comes back and tells the Pandavas, tells Kuntī Devi, tells Vidura, this is what these people did to me. Vidura and Yudhishthir Maharaj feel so bad. They say, okay, we will tolerate. We will not tell anyone. Kuntī Devi is invoking that Vishan by saying, we didn't tell this pain to anybody. But who protected us? Even I could not protect my son. Even my sons could not protect my son. You protected him by sending him to Sarpaloka. What about Mahagne? Duryodhana and Dushasan made this sinister plan, nefarious plan. Let's send them to a wax palace so that they enjoy and set it ablaze. Dhritarashtra tells Yudhishthir Maharaj, oh Yudhishthir, I have made a wonderful residence for you. It's far away from here. There's nice food, nice music, good entertainment. I want you all to take a break and have a nice time. Vidura tells Yudhishthir Maharaj, stay out of this. Yudhishthir Maharaj says, but how do I say a no? Dhritarashtra Maharaj is the king. He's the superior. I need to listen to him. I need to obey. Vidura says, we'll make some plan. Don't worry. Through Krishna's blessings and intervention, a very beautiful underground canal or tunnel was made. These 5 Pandavas with the mother went to that wax palace, which was set on fire at night, so that they die. And a Shudrani with her 5 children in the forest who was drunk went and slept there. These 6 escaped. They burned to death. And the Kauravas were thinking, oh, our dear Pandavas are dead. So sad. They are gone. Acting externally as if they are sad, but they were so happy. Little did they realize that the Pandavas had escaped underground. So first she says Vishad, then says Mahagne. She says, first you protected him underwater, then you protected us underground. And Purushada Darshanat, even in that forest, when Hidimba came, Bakasur came, Bhim was fighting them. After that, after killing Hidimba, who was a cannibal, Hidimba's sister, Hidimbi, Kunti Devi said, why don't you get married to her? So Bhim said, okay. Got married to her, had a son called Ghatotkacha, who finally died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Kunti Devi even saw that. She's accounting all these incidents and telling Kṛṣṇa, my tongue cannot pronounce enough gratitude in words. My Lord, what you mean to me, I can't tell you in words. Dear devotees, the take home for us today, all of us must have a book where we write 3 good things that happened to us that day and thank Kṛṣṇa for it. You can call it a gratitude book or a gratitude journal or a book of prayers. Have a small book, private to yourself. And never forget. Now look, it's been so many years since all this happened, and Kunti is talking to Kṛṣṇa. She's not telling Kṛṣṇa, you helped us so much. And if Kṛṣṇa says, well, I didn't do anything, she's like, I'm not able to remember, but I know you have done a lot. That's not how it is. She's flowing with examples. So the take home for us, today's session, offering obeisances, calling out to the names of Kṛṣṇa, and having a gratitude book, where every single day, we write 3 good things that happened to us. And we thank Kṛṣṇa. Like when you write, you say, thank you, Kṛṣṇa. I met this wonderful devotee. By your intervention, arrangement, I got chance to associate with that devotee. These are the qualities in that devotee that really touched my heart, and I wish I can incorporate them. Second point. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa. I had a wonderful lunch meal today. Although the Mataji cooked it with so much love, you are the one who gave her the ideas. You are the one who gave her the strength to stand and cook. You are the one as money, as Lakshmi, who brought everything together. You are the one who got us invited to that meal. I ate, she cooked, but Kṛṣṇa, thank you for making all this happen. And third, another point. It rained profusely today, my Lord, but I'm very grateful. We still could have the program. Devotees could come, we could do a lot of kirtan. My Lord, this was the best part of the day. I'm very grateful that you gave me time from sunrise to sunset, and again sunset to sunrise, 24 hours, so that I can breathe happily and serve you with so much love. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa, for giving me the food that I eat. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa, for the clothes that I have. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa, for not putting me on the street. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa, for giving me health care and education. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa, for giving me the life where I can see, hear, I can process, I can walk, I can talk. My Lord, in the mood of Kunti, my words fall short in gratitude. You continue to do so much for me. Much more and more tomorrow. Gaur Premanande.